What's up, everybody? Woo!
What up?
What's happening? Yo, everybody that's out there watching right now, I'm so glad that you joined us. A little special conference edition version of LTG Live. I got the one and only Andre Anderson co-hosting with me today. What's up, my brother? How are you?
Man, we out here. I'm feeling good today.
Are you sure you're feeling good? Because you got like the whole hoodie. Like it's like you're like, I feel like you have COVID and you're just not telling us.
It's raining outside.
Man. Nah, I can't get COVID, man. I'm good.
Wait, he can't get COVID because he has a Lead Generation coffee mug. Come on.
Yeah.
It stops
If you have a Lead
vaccine.
Yeah, this definitely stops it right here. So I got this. I'm doing good. Like I'm doing good.
That's why you want to come to the conference, because we're giving away free virtual vaccines at the conference.
Oh, there you go.
Absolutely.
Let's start off with controversy. Let's start out with controversy.
I was just about to say.
That's what we do. That's what we do. So hey,
we also got Scott Nagle with us.
Yo.
I was gonna say, let's introduce our other guests. Andre. We got Scott Nagle and Luke Adams, youth pastors at GT Church in Reading, Pennsylvania. Let's go.
Woo. What's up, everybody?
We're pumped to be here. I don't have a vaccine mug, but I got a little water bottle.
This is my vaccine mug, and Starbucks. I'm going to be billing Starbucks for product placement right now. So okay.
I was about to say we should probably say we are neither sponsored by Acadia Water nor Starbucks.
True.
But Lead the Generation mug is in fact it, and Andre and I of course, are rocking the better. I got you.
Nor Pfizer or Moderna or any of the other vaccine companies.
No.
This can take a turn really quickly.
Thanks.
We're so off already. All right. Hey, listen. Those of you that are watching, you're with us right now. Like, here's the deal. Today, during the live stream, you want to stay with us as long as you can, because we're going to be giving away 5 free tickets for the conference. But if you're not on a live stream and we announce who's getting them, then you lost. Sorry, even if we chose you as a winner. Here's what you got to do. If you want to get 5 free tickets, which for some of you, that's like enough for you to bring a bunch of your leaders, which is awesome, right? So all you got to do is share the stream, this stream right here, right now. Click the share button and then tag us in the share at LTG Conference, and then hashtag LTG Live. And Andre Anderson, master of all things social media, is going to be actively tracking every single person who does this. And we will announce a winner on the live stream. And once we announce you as the winner, you'll reach out to me personally, Facebook message, whatever, and we'll give you a coupon code for 5 free tickets. Sorry, Scott, awesome. Luke, dude, Andre, none of you can win.
No.
You are exempt. You're exempt.
I was just about to text Luke and say, how many of our student leaders can we get on this right now?
We'll both share it. We'll both get 5.
I know our kids are in school, but we all know those kids that we could pull. Like, we can get.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely. So a bunch of you are dropping comments in the chat. So what up, Quentin? See you there, Cassie Davis.
What up, Cassie Davis? What's up, sis?
Let's go, man. Scott, Cassie is one of our spiritual kids, man, when we were youth pastoring together, right?
Killing it. She's killing the game too right now.
And I see some other friends out there. I see Billy Willis is watching right now. What's up, my friend Billy? And Scott, Luke, Andre, if you see anyone watching on Facebook Live, feel free to give them a shout out. And we're glad people are here. But go ahead, drop it in the chat right now. Where y'all watching from, who you are, what you're excited about for the conference, all that kind of stuff. We're excited to have Scott and Luke here. GT Church youth pastors. You guys have been a part of the conference for years. Fun fact, Scott, you actually helped start the conference.
Yeah, I did.
All the way back in 2016, right? Sitting right there in that office where you're sitting right now.
The room I'm sitting in right now. Absolutely. Yeah, is where it all started.
That is where it all started. And let's just talk about that for a second, Scott, because one of the things that you and I in that like very first conversation that we talked about with the conference was we wanted to do a conference that could be affordable, right? Because we were tired of like conferences that wanted to charge you like $6 trillion. You needed like a stimulus check in order to go.
Yeah.
Right? And so right now, this year, the conference is actually cheaper than it's ever been. After this is conference number 8, and right now the ticket prices are cheaper than ever. So we're going down with our ticket prices, not up, right? And then we wanted a conference that was accessible because we wanted to do it during a time frame, like during a time of the week that any youth pastor could come and bring their team to it. And so this year it kicks off Friday night, 7 p.m., and then it runs into Saturday morning. So that's cool. And then we also said, and this is something that's really unique about the conference, we said we want student leaders to be able to come. So we want a conference that has relevant content from the student leader all the way to the vocational youth pastor, right?
Yeah,
and so
I remember going.
Here we are.
I remember going to like big conferences, and I think that the two things you just touched on was the affordability. Like, I'm the youth pastor at our church, so like Luke and I, we go to one conference a year. Our church will pay to send us to a conference, but the reality is, our teenagers aren't coming with us. Like, we just don't have the budget to do it. And so, the other thing is, I'd been to these really big conferences, and they've got students there, but there's nothing for students. So they acknowledge them from the stage. Hey, who's a student here? And they're like, yay. And then you look at their breakouts, and it's like how to budget for a group of 100. And you got a high school kid going, what am I doing here? And so we wanted to start something that would be for both, like affordable, but also like, we want to train youth pastors and give us, because I'm in that boat, like give us high quality tools, but also be able to put tools in the hand of the student and take that one step further, because this is kind of how we use the conference here at GT. We want to put tools in the hands of the youth pastors to be able to use with their students. I think one of the it's not a dirty little secret, but like one of the most untapped potentials of lead generation for me over the past 8 conferences has been that I low key, I buy the conference pack so I can get every video, because I am ripping that becomes student leadership like content. Like it's just, and whether I'm showing a video, like in a couple minutes, we're going to show Micah Mack. Like I zoomed Micah Mack's stream last year to my student leaders because of where we were at in COVID and meeting over Zoom, because I wanted us to talk about his message or other, like I think Peter Reeves last year. Sorry, Peter, I know you're somewhere. You'll watch this eventually. I love you, man, but I stole your stuff. And so like, Peter Reeves, I was just like taking notes. Then I went to my live stream, student leaders that week. And I was like, hey man, I heard this great talk this week from Peter Reeves. Let's talk about it. Some of you saw it, some of you didn't, but let's unpack it together.
Yeah. So good. Yeah. So good, man. It's just crazy. Here we are like 8 conferences later. And you talked about like downloading or buying the conference, package, like the download package. Now like this is crazy, Scott, but like it's over 100 hours worth of content now because we've included all of the content. It's crazy. Yeah. So, good stuff. Luke, I'm gonna come to you in a second. I got a couple questions for you, but Andre, any updates on our little competition here? We got anybody who's in the lead right now for getting 5 free tickets? I see you taking notes. So you either writing down something funny that you want to say about me and my outfit, or or you're tracking people.
Listen, I'm on here today. You might be safe, E.
I might be safe.
You might be safe.
I got so many jokes right now, but right now we're looking at. I know Alexander Bridger has already tagged me. He's already shared and tagged. So I just keep keep refreshing. So we're gonna see. I mean, if people keep posting, if people keep commenting, we're gonna see. We're gonna see if they're about that life. So let's go.
Yeah. Let's go. That's cool. So hey. Scott, you mentioned a minute ago about how last year's conference, Micah Mack was one of the favorite speakers for your students. And I think that there's a lot that would say that, he was like right up there. Like people were like, oh my goodness, this was so good. And I can't wait for my kids to hear him. And Micah has become a good personal friend over the last couple of years and been a big friend of the Lead to Gen family as well. And so we invite him to come back, be a part of the conference again. He's super excited about it. And so if you don't know Micah, let me introduce you to you now. My goodness. Okay. By video here. Here's a clip, a little bit of a 2-minute clip from his message from last year. Preach this message in the back of a minivan. This is so great. He was talking about backseat faith versus front seat faith. And so kind of the minivan kind of fit the illustration, but this is really good. Let's roll.
I think about a missionary in India who his whole heartbeat was to become less and less and move to a front seat kind of faith so that the people in India may hear the gospel. And this missionary didn't have much other than a Bible himself, and he trekked through the mountains of India to go to village to preach the gospel to these unreached people groups all across India. And his life goal and his life purpose was, God, help me to become less and less so that you might become greater and greater. God, help me be the least and reach the least of these. And this man was led by the Spirit to go to one more village, although he was tired and growing weak in his physical stature. He'd been on the trails all day, but God led him to go to one more village to preach the gospel one more time. And before it hit dark, he reached this village. His feet were all blistered. His feet had these open wounds on it. It looked gross and disgusting due to all the traveling. His feet were hurting. And he showed up that night to preach the gospel. And after he was done preaching, he went away to a road and fell asleep on a road. That is how exhausted he was. The chief of the tribe had plans to kill this missionary because of the message he was preaching. But in the morning, a group of armed village men were surrounding him, and before they could kill him, they noticed his feet were blistered and tattered and a mess. And the chief said, the very fact that this man's feet are destroyed tells me he has a purpose to his message. Let's hear his message one more time and find out why he would travel this far to come talk to us. When the missionary woke up and found him still alive, the chief began to explain the story to him as to why they kept him alive and wanted to hear the message one more time. That unreached people group believed because of the man's feet who were tattered up, and they could tell this was a man who didn't want anything from them, but came to give something to them. This was a man who was marked like Christ, who said, how can I be less and less? And God, you become greater and greater. A front seat faith will always put Jesus first and center. A front seat faith will always say, God, how can I become less and less? And a backseat faith will say, God, how can I make it about me and my ministry, my wants, my desires?
Whoa, man, that's so good.
So good. So good. That's just good stuff.
I like when Andre has the like stank face. That's when you know it's good. When he's like the
Hey, let's talk
Cool
about
stuff.
the size of Aaron's hat. Let's talk about that. I just want to know, is that a fitted, Aaron? Is that a fitted or is it a snapback?
No, it's a snap. It's a snap.
Man, I'm just saying.
It's snap.
This dude starts losing weight and then forgets that his head is shrinking too.
Okay, listen, let's all acknowledge the fact. Look, let's do that again. Like he had a whole lot of holes showing up over here, y'all.
Stop it, man.
He got a little bit of space right here. He got a little bit of space. You see it? He's losing head weight right now. I can see it.
I'm wondering, does he have it bigger? It's kind of like not creasing your shoes, you know? Like he wants to make sure his hat stays dope around, you know, right?
That's it.
Yeah,
That's messed up.
It. Shout out to Ricky Ingram who still didn't call Michael Marshall back.
We're coming at you, Ricky. We're coming at you, man, for sure. Andre, quick update. We're giving away 5 free tickets for the conference. You got to share the stream. You got to tag us at LTG conference and hashtag LTG live. Who's in the running right now?
Oh my gosh. I have to keep refreshing and it keeps going up. I got Shannon Siska. I got Josh Bedard, Alexander Bridger, George Voles, and me and Quentin Wilder.
It's good stuff. Cool. Hey, so Luke, man, talk to us. I know you there at GT, you and Scott have been working on, you guys already bought tickets for the conference. I know you're planning on hosting like a leadership retreat for your student leaders and your adult leaders, and you're leveraging the content from the conference in order to do that. But I think you guys are taking a little bit of a unique approach to it, which is cool, a little different than a couple of weeks ago when Andre and I were talking with Kayla Stevenson and Micah Marshall. You guys are going a different direction with it, which is cool. And so I wanted to bring both of you on to have you kind of walk people through like how you are going to leverage the conference. Because I think for some people listening, it might be like, oh, that's a great idea. That's exactly what we could do in our scenario. So Luke, take us away, kind of fill us in on what you guys are doing. And then Scott, feel free to jump in as well.
Yeah, definitely. So we are purchasing a lot of tickets, sending them out to our students so that they can follow along and watch with us. But something that we thought would be a really cool idea is on Wednesday nights, we have a leadership class that takes place. We do a Zoom call for our middle schoolers, and then we do an in-person gathering for our high schoolers. And we thought it'd be really cool to take the content that we're going to be watching and actually then reteach it or play the videos for them and to kind of discuss it on our leadership nights. And that way it's not just like kind of a one and done, because sometimes where people go to the conferences or camps, right? Like it's like, man, this was so impactful and inspiring. And then sometimes people let it fizzle out. But our thought was like for the weeks to come after the conference, like 4 weeks, 5 weeks, like for as long as like we really want, we can keep hitting those things each Wednesday night at our leadership class, reteach them, hit certain points. And in that way, we can really continue really what we learned and continue to digest it so it doesn't just end. So yeah, that's pretty much what we're doing. We're really psyched about it, and we think it's going to go really well.
And from a financial standpoint, we decided that we were going to make the investment into our student leaders. So what we did, and this is our second year in a row doing this now, our youth ministry just bought a block of tickets. And so, so right now, if you go on the back end, like that Aaron sees, my name is listed under a bunch of tickets. And the reason is because you can buy them like that as a youth pastor, and then you can go back in and assign them to emails as kids say they can go. So what I do is I will now reach out personally to our student leaders, ones that went last year, ones that are involved in our stuff, in our in-person stuff this year, and say, hey, this is what this is. Are you interested in going? And when they say yes, then I go ahead and assign them a ticket so that then they get communicated to by Lead the Generation and get all the stuff they need. We decided to not do an in-person gathering because just the restrictions that our personal church, and it all has to do with where you're located, right? Yeah. So for us, like the idea of spending 4 hours on a Friday night and 4 hours on a Saturday morning, sitting in a room where everyone has a mask on and everyone is more than 6 feet apart, just didn't feel like it's not something that would appeal to our students. And so what we're doing is allowing our students to consume the content on their own the weekend of, but then we're doing, like Luke said, we're going to come back during our leadership nights every Wednesday and basically re-walk through. So if our students watched it, then we're saying, hey, all right, tell me what you learned when you watched this talk. Or, hey, you didn't see it? Great. Here's the main point. So let's talk about what this means to us in leadership.
Yeah. I love that. I love how you guys are just like finding out how your own way, like your own unique way to leverage the conference and the content of the conference. I think, Luke, what you mentioned is so true. We've all done that. We've all gone to conferences, taken pages and pages and pages of notes. And then if we're going to be honest, we come home and we only ever do like 5 to 10% of everything that we wrote down that we were going to do. Right. It's so crazy. Like I got to be honest. Like sometimes I was like, I kind of hope my pastor doesn't ask me like, how much are you actually doing?
So true.
But so I love that you guys have a plan in place for like, here's how we're going to take the content from main sessions. There's like 8 main sessions that are part of the conference. And then there's like 24 breakout sessions, right? Yep. So you're basically saying, hey, this is enough content that we can work to apply this in the lives of our leaders for weeks and months to come.
There's half a year of content for Wednesday nights.
Yeah. That's amazing. So I love how you're doing that. And then, you know, and I think, Scott, you make a really good point when you say, you know, geographically speaking, depending on where you're at, really depends on how you and your church are handling social distancing protocols and, you know, our ongoing challenges with COVID and all of that. So I appreciate that you guys are like, hey, it's great that some churches are getting together and doing big, huge watch parties. And that's great for them because that works, but it doesn't work for us. But that doesn't mean we can't be apart. We'll create another way. And I think that's what creativity is, right, Andre? It's like creativity is really like identifying your context, identifying your opportunities, and then saying, okay, cool, here's how we can make it work, right?
Yeah, and interesting you said that, E. Like, I'm teaching a breakout that I'm actually writing like right now. Today and tomorrow I'm writing it. I'm recording it on Wednesday. And my breakout is called COVID Made Me Do It. And so what I want to look at is what are some changes that COVID has caused us as, you know, as youth pastors to make. And there's a bunch of great articles that we're going to be I'm going to be pulling from of like, what does this mean for the future of ministry? And so the idea of like everyone's doing something different and the right answer is what works for you. And so the other thing for me, I wanted to share when you were sharing that, E, is we made an investment to buy tickets, right? And so I want to make sure I know that we will use this more going further because we made an investment. Like, we view buying tickets to this conference as this is our investment in student leadership for the next 6 months. So I could go out and buy a curriculum or I could buy X amount of tickets so that I get my student leaders to this, and it creates incredible conversations for months to come. And in all honesty, like, the difference between buying a leadership curriculum or buying tickets to this conference is that I feel like it's a better experience for my students because they get to interact with the teachers, as opposed to, you know, Luke and I buy a curriculum and Luke and I are reading it, and then it's Luke and I regurgitating whatever it is that we've read. You know, like I'm pumped for my kids to see. You know, Andre, you teaching a breakout this year?
Yeah.
What are you teaching on? Are you really? Or do you even know yet?
Yeah.
Do you even know yet?
Like, hold on, am I preaching a breakout or not?
Listen, we laugh at that, but like, I work for someone, my boss, Christine, she teaches a breakout at the Orange Conference every year. And I'm not lying. It's 2 weeks before the Orange Conference when she finally knows what she's actually talking about. And they got like 8,000 people there. So I don't feel so bad. You know?
No,
so what are you teaching, Andre?
No, I'm preaching on how to minister to the fatherless and how to deal with fatherlessness whenever you're a kid who feels like you have an absent father.
Dude, that's fantastic. Yeah. Man, I got kids. I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'm literally taking a note because I'm writing. I'm going to be
real quick. Andre, before you give us an update on our competition, I was going to mute your microphone for the rest of the show because you made fun of me last time. As long as you promised to only make fun of Scott the rest of the live stream, then I will leave your mic unmuted. Okay, go.
Done. Sounds good. All right. Scott has dolphin teeth. So,
this is true.
It's wild. Whenever I've been going through this whole breakout thought process on fatherlessness, I've been finding that that fatherlessness goes deeper than not having a dad at home. It actually is how we deal with God. Because once you are deceived, like you look at Eve, she had direct connection with God, was deceived, and then hid. So once you accept a deception or you are deceived, you feel like your connection with God is now broken. And once you have that disconnect from God, there's actually something associated with being illegitimate where you don't feel like you have a right to be in the presence of God. So imagine how many of our students and leaders don't feel like they have legitimacy to actually come before the Father in worship. So,
dude, that's cool. Wow. Straight up, man. Now
so
I feel like I'm ready.
I'm ready for Andre just to do his breakout right now because I just want to hear the rest of it. But
I'm telling you, dude, we're dropping heat on them. But what I need to see is more people sharing this feed right now. It tells you what to tag at the bottom right here. Tag us, tag me, tag Aaron, hashtag LTG Live. Let us know that you're sharing it. Share whatever you can. Share it wherever you can. And
we're going to give
Andre,
look at Nate's the guy's comment
Did you
right
see
there.
Nate's quote right now? Holy cow!
Yeah. Andre, unpack that for us, because this is gonna just spend another minute on that, because that's so good, Nate. I don't know if hopefully you're still watching, Nate, but bro, wow.
Nate's my guy. Yeah, it's wild. Like when you're a dad, you have to truly understand that how you treat your kids and how you love your kids needs to flow from, how you look at God, and flow from the love of a father, and realize that it's an unconditional love. It's a love that is never ending. It's a love that no matter what you do, no matter what has been done to you, you are still connected. Nate's kids still have his last name. They still have his seal, no matter what they do. Our kids still have our seal. So they still have our name, and there's nothing that's going to separate them from us. There's nothing that's going to make them any less valuable as our children. They're still connected to us, and we're going to love them regardless. And that's why, so many of us, whenever you don't have a dad that's loving on you, that's caring for you, like you can have a dad in the home and he works all the time, or he's just absent in thought. And, and so those kids have a problem with connecting to God and looking at God in a real way. And I just had a conversation with my wife about it with my son on ways that I can improve as a dad, so we're all dealing with it. We all need to learn. So,
yeah.
See, here's the thing. Like,
go ahead.
What's that? I was just saying, that's so good. I know all these breakouts are going to be phenomenal. The main sessions are going to be so good. And this is why I think breaking it down into like the weeks to come is very helpful, because if you guys are like me, like, to be honest, I can only retain so much information and word at a time. Good, so like right there, it's like, man, like that's enough for me for today. And if I binge the whole conference during the day, which I'm going to do, like, I'm gonna be like, this is awesome, but I need to come back to it in the weeks to come, because I'm not going to be able to just retain all of it right there at once. So that's the other reason I really like how we're doing it week after week, again, on those Wednesdays, getting intentional.
Yeah. And I don't know, you guys didn't see it,
that's so good. I'm gonna ask Luke to be a part of the conference just to help sell the download packages.
Come on, man. I'll be a salesman. You better believe it. Listen, I don't know if you know, but Emily King posted a comment. She is this crazy talented worship leader from Virginia. Emily, what's up, friend? I miss you. It's good. I haven't seen you forever, but you're awesome. Yeah, there she goes. So good, y'all. Emily King is killing it, man.
Come on, let's go.
Yeah, pump.
All right, so listen. It's gonna be so good. Okay, so Andre, we're gonna give a couple more minutes for people to get a chance to win the 5 free tickets, right? So how do you do it? You share this stream right now, you tag us at LTG conference, and then hashtag LTG live, right? I'm gonna roll a promo video for the conference real quick. And then when I come back, Scott, you've been a part of every single Lead the Gen conference. This is the 8th one that we've done. You've had some role in some way, shape, or form at every single one of them. Favorite memories from the last 5 years of doing conferences, right? Favorite memories, to give you a couple of seconds to think about it. Here we go. Let's roll this. Yo, there it is. Scott, Emily says, I miss you so much.
You know what's funny is I know Emily.
Yeah. Listen, she was a student in Cassie Davis's youth ministry, and now she's in college. And she was going to UVF, but I don't even know. Emily, where do you go to school now? Did you transfer down to Southeastern? I don't even know, but I just know that I've seen this girl lead worship, and she's crazy talented.
Yep. Yeah. I did their winter retreat.
Yeah. You know what? You know what's funny? I did the year before you. Aaron did a year, then I did a year, then you did a year.
I did a year, and then Scott did a year, and then Andre did a year. Yeah. Hey, Luke, you're up next.
I'm next.
I don't even know.
You got a call to go to Virginia.
All right,
Hey, so
the stream's going to be over. The stream's going to be over in a couple minutes. Andre's going to announce a winner. Scott, man, you and I've been friends for 25, almost 30 years now. It's crazy, right?
By the way, Luke's only 25 years old, so we'll just leave it
as long as I'm alive, dude.
Oh my God.
So good. I mean, so I mean, this is
Aaron, aren't you like
cool,
20
man.
years older than him?
No. Then Luke, yeah. Scott,
Yes.
no.
Then Luke,
Okay,
yes.
no.
I'm 20 years older than Luke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, it's
I
okay.
wasn't supposed to make
Thankfully, he
fun of you.
doesn't call me dad. Like, that would be the end. It'd be that'd be it.
Okay.
That'd be it.
Okay,
Please,
so
no.
I mentioned early in the stream, for those of you that maybe jumped on halfway through, Lead the Generation Conference started in the spring of 2016. It was the fall of 2015 that Scott and I and a couple of others were sitting right there in that office where Scott's sitting at right now, where the Holy Spirit dropped the inspiration to start this conference. And so, Scott, you've had a big role in Lead the Generation Conference in particular, and obviously, you know, you being such one of my closest friends, you've helped me process a lot as our ministry has grown over the years. And so, anyways, I just would love to hear, as we're gonna roll to the end here real quick, and Andre's gonna announce a winner. But I'd love to hear some of your favorite memories from our years together doing LTG conference.
Yeah, I think one of the most impactful moments for me has always been the times of worship that we have infused into the conference. Like, I've been to conferences that they'll put worship in, but it's I can't listen, if you're watching this and you've never watched a Lead the Generation conference, you need to catch a Lead Generation conference, because even last year, what was interesting to me is even last year when we went 100% online, like, I remember having the conversation with you of you sharing, like, listen, my heart is like, worship still has to be killer. And like, that worship set online in my TV room at home was incredible, lights out. Like, it was still one of those, like, oh my gosh, this is an incredible worship time. So I love the fact that we've had that, and I'm gonna say you in this, because as the head, that you have had the top-notch communicators followed up by like awe-inspiring worship, that like it hasn't just been a filler or a transition or like, oh, we're gonna sing a song as we come back from lunch. So if you're a youth pastor watching and you plan things like this, like, we're going to put a song coming out of lunch because, we know people aren't going to come back on time. No, it's been
we need a filler.
Yeah, right. We're going to put the best worship set right here. We're just going to tell people, if you miss it, you miss it. You need to get here. And so I think that's been the biggest thing for me. On top of that, it's been the, I would say the, like, accessibility of communicators. Like, it is so easy. I don't know who said there were 2 sandwiches in your box, but
that's Matt Baldwin. That's Matt
Baldwin.
Right.
Listen, you got the favor of God if Chick-fil-A puts 2 sandwiches in your box. But
I love how that's the best part.
I'm gonna tell you what,
2 sandwiches.
But like, I guess the other thing I love about it is, like, when you talk about memories, like, man, session after session, breakout after breakout, they're just incredible communicators that have done incredible things. And my favorite memories is that, and what I love the most about it is there is something for everyone. If you've got a student, there are breakout sessions just for you as a student. Like, I've gone back and rewatched, like, a really close friend of ours, Mark Geddes, wrote like Youth Ministry on a Budget and how to like make your youth ministry look great. I've gone back and watched those. I remember one of the years at UVF, I went and snuck into one of our friends, Rob Gillen did one breakout, and I snuck in and sat in the back because I just wanted to hear him. And like, I would always get mad. I would always get sad when the breakouts came out, because whatever I was assigned to meant I couldn't go see someone else's breakout. And so like, I was like, no, I wanted to go. Like, one year, Andre, I think it was your first year teaching. Like, I'm not lying. You were teaching one for students. And I was so ticked because the one you were teaching, they assigned me to teach a breakout on small groups or something. And I was like, yeah, but I just wanted to sneak in and listen to Andre. And so, which is why, taking a step further, with Luke's future position of promoting all things.
That's why you got to buy the package with all the breakouts, man.
There you go.
Yep.
And so like that's it for me. Like for me, it's and as a youth pastor, when I brought groups to these events, I remember very clearly we hosted one at the University of Valley Forge probably 3 years ago now. And I had a group of about 15 to 20 students who came in leaders. And like, it was an incredible day for our students. Like even down to, this was back when we didn't do lunch. We didn't do box lunches. So you could go out and get lunch. So we had figured out how to get pizza for our groups because we were going to, I wanted that group together. And I remember I was talking with the speakers in the whatever, and I came out and like all 20 of my kids were sitting together, talking, hanging out, having a great time. And the interesting thing is when I walked over, the conversations they were having were about the breakout that they were just in, which was like, this is like, as youth pastors, man, that is gold. You can't make that stuff. You can create the atmosphere. Like our job is to create the atmosphere for the Holy Spirit to move in our students. And like, this is so when you talk about being a youth pastor, you talk about like a leadership conference, like I want my kids to get involved in this stuff. I want my kids to hear this stuff. I want my kids to become better leaders because I'm not, here's the thing for me, because I'm not leading students to make a difference in my church today. I'm leading students that I'm hoping are going to lead my church 5 to 10 years from now.
Wow.
Come on.
And like, because when you talk about youth pastors, listen, youth pastor, if you're watching this out there and you're wondering whether you should bring students to this or you should watch this, your success ultimately will not be determined by what your head count is next week. What your success should be determined by how many of those kids are following Jesus in 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
How many of those kids are leading, and so like, this is just another one of those things that help us along the way. It's a tool, right? It's a tool. And the only way a tool works is you got to take advantage of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love
there
it.
you go.
That's
That's
so
it. That's
good.
all I got.
I love it, man. I just think too, you're everything you said is right on the money. But like in my heart, when you start talking about worship, like, and I know you feel the same way, Scott, like for you and I, it's like, it's not just incredible worship, and the quality of it is not just like, wow, that's amazing. And it will be that way this year as well. Allison Park Church is doing all the production for us, and their production is just off the chain amazing. And so, shout out to them already for all of their help. But it's Scott, it's some of you and I's spiritual sons and daughters that lead all of the worship. So for us, it's kind of like that added thing of like, you're my kids and you're amazing.
Yeah.
So I think that's really cool. So Andre, I'm going to kick it to you. We've been doing this competition for today's live stream, 5 free tickets. Before you announce the winner, Andre, a memory of LTG conference that you and I shared together was the 1 year that you were a big part of the LTG conference on the road in Southern New England. And my wife had a flat tire and you drove to rescue her.
Wow.
You remember all this, bro? That was crazy. I'm calling you. I'm like, bro, you got to go help my wife.
Yeah. Like she's up there, man. And I'm like, what way are you coming? And I'm like, I just drove through a national forest. I don't know where I'm at.
Oh, it was good time. Good time. Oh, that was a crazy one. That was a nuts one. But hey, Andre, tell us who it is, and listen, if you got to be on the stream right now, so I hope that you hung with us. Like seriously, Andre's gonna announce it, and once we announce the winner, you better comment, and then we're gonna reach out to you. If you're not on the stream, we're just gonna keep announcing people until someone's on the stream, and then you're the one who wins. So, ready, set, let's go.
It's crazy. I have a winner list, and I have 3 winners. So if they're not here, sorry. So if you're on right now, Quentin Wilder.
Quentin!
Oh, come on, Quentin!
Woo! Come on, what's up, Quentin?
From Indy, come on!
This is a good day, Quentin. We need you to comment right now. We need you to put a comment in the chat. We're going to give you. I'm sure there's a lag time, so I'm going to give you a good 20 or 30 seconds to do that. But Quentin, we need to hear from you right now. And if we don't hear from you soon, we can always just go back to Luke, and he can make another pitch for not only coming to the conference, but also buying the download package.
Buy the download.
Yeah. Quentin, where you at? Quentin, we're calling you out. Oh man, he's gonna be mad, bro. He's not gonna be happy. Bro, there he is. We got him.
You got it?
He's there. He just commented. He just commented.
There he is.
There we
he
go.
is.
There we go, Quentin. 5 more. That's 5 more.
Let's go. Let's go, Quentin. You already got my number, bro. Text me, and we'll get you a coupon code, 5 free tickets for you and people from your team. And congratulations, man.
Just to show y'all, that's
there it is. There it is, right there.
Oh man, George and Alex are sick right now.
Yeah. Here, there we go. There we go.
That's the way it's gonna play. That's the way it's gonna play out.
There you go, Quentin. That's 5 more.
There we go. Love it. So good. And that's cool too, because Quentin, man, he's been a big supporter of the Lead a Gem fam for so many years. He's been a part of some of our coaching groups. So really, really cool. So good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, George. Sorry, man.
Yeah. We love you, George. So this raffle thing is dope.
Yeah. Something good. All right, guys. Listen, sign up for the conference. You can register at Lead the Generation. You got 1 week before the prices go up, because right now the ticket price is only $19. But next week, Monday next week is the last day for that price, and then Tuesday it goes up to $29. So save yourself some money. Try to make it again. We've always tried to make it as affordable as possible for you to bring not just yourself, but your entire team. Fully online conference. So anywhere in the world you got internet connection and a device, you and your friends can get together, watch the conference. It is $19 per ticket. We do encourage watch parties. We don't have a watch party ticket pass because we want everyone to be on their own stream so we can chat with one another, so that you can post questions, so that you can be a part. And but man, we're super excited about it. Andre and I will be back with another conference edition of LTG Live on Wednesday of this week. We'll be giving away some more free tickets. So for those of you that missed out, it's okay. Jump back on Wednesday. You get another chance. Scott Nagle, one of my best friends in the world. Thanks for jumping on today. Luke, so excited that you're there working with Scott at GT. What an incredible guy to work for, and an incredible church. And so glad that you're going to be a part of LTG this year, man. So glad that both of you are going to be a part. So let's hit it. We're out of here. We'll see you guys later.